Cage Minds, Micah Frankel on location in Santa Fe, Gracie Baja alongside LFA 141's Josiah Reyes, going to be taking on Luis Gurule here in Vail, Colorado on September 9th. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. It's been a long few months of fight camp. I had scheduled June 3rd, and that fell through, so that was like made it an extended. It's been like 4 months of kind of like fight camp training now. But I'm doing good, getting all the recovery stuff a little more in order, more balanced, kind of figuring out that process a little better, adding the long Epsom salt baths to the mix a lot more this time, which does wonders. Just magnesium sulfate, I think. Getting like I guess kind of like the meal prep in order, planning all your food and drinks while you're out and about, because that's something that's kind of tricky to do, especially when there's nothing really close by to kind of just go snatch up. But I'm feeling good. I'm like getting better and better at this process every single time. So feeling good, enjoying it, making some good memories as well.
Talk about some good memories. Oh, shit, my man, that was some violent stuff the last time we saw you in the LFA.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense finish. That 8,000 feet is definitely no joke. You can feel the 8,000 feet for sure. But yeah, I came here the Sunday before I went out to Vail, and I just by myself showed up at Sunday night, threw on some music, and I did like 5 5s or maybe 7 5s, and a lot of them I just put that ground and pound dummy out, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna elbow this thing to kingdom come. Just what if I need to elbow like crazy and I'm here on the top, and I just did that like crazy before, and it was perfect timing. So yeah, I don't know exactly how the end will be on this one, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if that sort of thing can happen again.
So it's a little bit serendipitous, fortuitous. How would you categorize it to have that intuition to... It just comes into play. You know, you see that a lot in this game just overall. I was just training that in the back, and then that moment comes up.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more and more like neuroscience behind it. Like they're seeing connections between, I guess, like visualizing what's going to happen and then actually doing it. I think visualizing it's not quite as good as, of course, the actual training and the actual movements physically, but I saw that it's extremely beneficial. And then something that was surprising too is, I don't know if you know Nathan Corbett, Carnage Corbett. He's like a heavyweight Muay Thai champion, but he's known for elbows. And he said that he visualizes his victory speech, what he's going to say after he wins. And he said that like really, really helped him already accept that he was going to win and already what he was going to say after he had won. So I've been trying to do that a little bit too, because it's always impressive how people have all these elaborate things to say after they just fought their lungs out, you know? I feel like I would kind of forget everything and freeze up at that moment and just not say anything I want to say. But yeah, I'm trying to visualize just there's so many variables. You just really, truly just never know what's going to happen. So it's kind of a trip at the same time.
Does it feel different a second time going up to Vail, Colorado? You now know what to expect in that elevation, because it feels like, I believe that's almost as high as you're ever going to fight in the United States, and it's something that you can't explain until that kind of elevation affects your body.
Actually, well, this is the third time we fought in Vail. So I went up there in 2018.
Yeah, my bad. I was there one of the times.
Yeah. I guess that first time it was kind of short notice, and I was an amateur on the card, and so yeah, this is actually our third Vail battling, you know. So it's feeling almost like we're fighting over like territory, you know, like we're trying to claim our stake in that mountain territory up there. I really enjoy it. I think the city is like so beautiful. It's such a strange, small little, just another ski resort town that I would probably never ever be at unless something like this, to be quite honest with you. But I've enjoyed it every time. I really enjoy LFA. They're super professional, and I've just enjoyed their production always. So I'm super excited to do it. And then now that Jess Martinez is on the card, it's like a whole nother bonus, you know. It just makes it that much more special, because I remember when I very first walked in these doors too, he was doing like MMA practice in the cage, and I hadn't done any yet, and I was watching him hit pads, and I was just like, man, like someday, like I'm gonna be like that, you know, like soon I'm gonna do it. And I remember I had the same phone as him, and I even picked up his phone, and I was like going through it, and I was like, wait, this isn't my phone. And he was like, I think you've got my phone. But yeah, since he's on the card, it's like another extra little bonus for sure. And then we had Corey lined up and back and forth, and it just like didn't go through. So that was unfortunate. That would have been 3 of us going up there, but it's beautiful at least having Jess, and Corey's going to be one of my corners again this time around too. So it's good.
A minute ago, you mentioned battling over territory, and I kind of feel like that's a good explanation for what's going to happen. You're coming into the fight off of a win over Ludwig Acevedo. I don't know if they're teammates, but I believe they're both. Oh, they are both teammates. And now recently, I heard that you had done some cross training in Albuquerque at Jackson's Acoma. I'm not sure if you came across Anthony Valenzuela, but he is the last opponent who lost to Luis. So it's an interesting crossover that you both have kind of worked with the other's last opponent, and we do have this state battlegrounds. We always know New Mexico, Colorado, it's a huge rivalry.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a little bit. It's kind of interesting the way that sort of thing works out. We're like fighting each other's. I beat one of his teammates, he beat one of my teammates, and now we're settling it there. I'd like to see like even the Lorvik and Anthony even fight. That would be kind of cool too to see. But yeah, it's just interesting the way that sort of thing plays out. We have done some cross training down in Jackson's Acoma. It's been really nice. They've been treating us so good, a lot of respect. The energy's amazing. It's very safe, which is like really good, like smart training basically. So you're not going to get too much damage or too much injury. Borg, Nick, they've all been like really helping us out a ton. So we've been there, going down there probably about three or 4 months, I'd say now. So yeah, it's been a nice new group of people, nice new group of bodies. Like I said, everyone's super cool, super respectful. It's been like a similar energy to what we have up here in Santa Fe, honestly.
And then the fight, Luis, he got a first round TKO. What do you expect? Do you expect a striking heavy attack from your opponent? What are you kind of contemplating the fight's going to look like?
Yeah. It kind of seems like he kind of comes heavy for sure. Kind of comes with the heavy power, explosive power. So I am expecting and kind of preparing for like some heavy pressure, some heavy power, some heavy striking. It's just so strange to do the analysis like in real time. I think I heard John Jones say that a long time ago, that like the highest level people make reads and analysis in the real time. Obviously you study and you watch video, but you can only get so much until you're really in there with them, feeling them. So it's kind of interesting to make those real time live reads and set traps and just make analysis really. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much. It's just like a crazy fast, super wild speed chess game.
And I don't know how much confidence you've gained recently, but before we came over to this gym, right around the corner, there's Superior Fitness, and check out the interview also with Jess Martinez, and Jess is like, man, Josiah, these last few months, I'm like, not going to go use the same words, but he's saying you're becoming a beast out there. He's like, wow. When you hear your teammates being impressed with your gains and improvements, what does that do for the confidence?
It's huge. I mean, he's such a good training partner, so he's always giving all of us props and shout outs, and he's such a good, like, encouraging person. You're doing so good, that was awesome, try this. He's one of the best training partners I've ever trained with, to be honest. And so, but still, to hear that sort of thing genuinely from a person like that it means a lot. It means a lot just as a compliment to my training, and it just means a lot like in general, because I respect him so much, and I've been watching him for this whole time since I've been coming up and kind of following him and like Jerome as well. So yeah, man, it means a ton, and I have been working my ass off a lot and filling in all the holes that I have. There's so many little like attributes that you can, like a video game, you got out of 0 to 10, like you're a 5 in this, a 7 in striking, an 8 in ground and pound, a 9 in cage work. So trying to like build up all those attributes with experience points, which fight camps are the best way to gain experience points, and the fight as well, of course. So yeah, that means the world to me. Hearing like Jess and then Jerome or any of my coaches tell me that sort of thing, like, it means a lot. It really, really means a lot to me.
You've had some spectacular finishes now already as a professional, and I'm sure that, let me say, with your level-headedness, we know that you're always looking to continue developing and improving. Where has the focus been here recently? Where did you walk away from that last fight saying, I want to improve this area?
Yeah, great question. I've been looking at doing a lot more like wrestling. I've been kind of falling in love with wrestling, honestly. Such a different art than I never wrestled in school, you know. So, and then I did jiu-jitsu first. So now I'm looking at wrestling after doing like all these other arts, and it's like, at first glance, you'd like, oh, wrestling's a double leg and a single leg and a sprawl and just power and explosion. But now that I'm studying it a lot more, it's just like jiu-jitsu. Like, there's hundreds and hundreds of moves for every different position. So I'm like really starting to fall in love with the wrestling part a lot more. Trying to find a lot more elbows. I've been studying that guy I was telling you about, Nathan Corbett, Carnage Corbett, and I got like an instructional by him just on elbows. So I've been really, really like studying and enjoying the elbows and the knees as well. Just still growing in the jiu-jitsu journey. I still feel like the higher you get, the more you're like, do I even like it's just weird. Like, you just keep relearning everything you already know, like over and over and over and over again, and refighting it. So I'm always learning so much jiu-jitsu things right now. We've got to do some sessions with Coach Luttrell still, so he's been showing us all his fascinating, epic. Jerome's been calling him Professor Violence, so he's giving us some incredible tools. And then, of course, we got Corey here to show us the wrestling stuff. We just, Professor Angelo has been doing our jiu-jitsu primarily here. Of course, Professor Sergio, my coach Josh. There's so many people here. Like, our whole team's basically a team of coaches and high-level fighters, so it's pretty sweet.
Friday night, what do you expect?
Oh, man, I'm excited. It's crazy. It's a week from tonight, actually. I expect to have a good show. I expect to do some great art and have some good footage. I have my children's jiu-jitsu class here that is like, you're going to show us your fight, right? Like, we want to see that video. So I'm like, I'll show you guys, you know, no matter what happens, I'll show you guys. Unless it's something horrendous, I'll show you guys. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to making some more art, getting some video, honestly. It's something to show maybe the grandkids or maybe some sort of my nieces or nephews or something someday. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to having a great night. Seeing Jess fight again is like very, very exciting to me. I'm excited to see him as I am to fight myself. Just seeing all the fights, they're always good fights over there, to be honest. So try to enjoy the show after we go on, get a beautiful victory, spend some time with some friends and family, see my mom. She's in Denver, so I get to have some mom time. So just looking forward to a good, crazy, fight-filled weekend.
Exciting. Thank you for the time, sir.
You got it. Thank you, Micah.